So now grandma, the mama and grandma, we've had a history, folks, of two women raising a boy. And so now he's running around out there with his pants hanging down, with nobody giving him a direction. Nobody giving him a direction. And so what's then happened, I read something from I think the FBI, they did a statistic and they found out that I think it was 86% of all men that are incarcerated. Do you know that 86% of them come out of a single parent household? Single parent household. And that's because of the Democrat Party. The Democrats has destroyed the family. And now they're telling you that they're the ones. Now they want to redefine the family, and now today they're the ones that believe that they can improve the family structure when they destroyed the family structure. Let me clear the line first, and then I'm gonna come back to this right here because this is important. We need to know the violence of the Democrat Party because that spirit that was there then is still with them today. This violence right here is still with them today. Matter of fact, I brought in a book. This book is so delicate. I found a friend of mine found at a vintage bookstore, and this right here was written by Ralph Ginzburg. And it says 100 Years of Lynching, a shocking documentary of race violence in America. Well, we can replace that word with race violence by the Democrat Party. It was not America. America did not embrace this right here. This is all done by one party, and we have to identify. We have to make sure that we identify historically that everything in every intimidation, manipulation, racial element that was so vibrant in our society in America was not done by America. It was done specifically by one party to stay in control. And we're going to go to our friend Dave first, and we're going to clear the line. Dave, thank you very much for calling this morning. And you said, why? I want to know, why is that you want to answer the question that I asked about the appeal of socialism to young people?
Yeah, I would bet that if you took a look at those who think socialism is great,
yes,
most all of them still live in the realm of the theoretical, and not very many of them have been introduced and lived very long in the realm of what really works,
yes,
and what doesn't really work.
Yes, yeah.
Something about getting out there, getting a job, earning a living, and finding out about helping your employer turn a profit or not educates a person.
You know what? I absolutely, you're right. And turning that, helping your company turn a profit will also, you would benefit from that, because if you can help your company grow, if you can show your company that some ways that they can do better business, there's a reward for you for helping your company in those areas. Second, I think one of the appeals, and it's not even the appeal because they want a job, they want a nice car, an apartment, and so on and so forth. But one of the appeals that I'm a business person, I'm a businessman. One of the things I'm seeing, oh my goodness, I'm talking about this appeal that's going on right now from Democrats is that this student loan debt, my friend, is these young people owe unprecedented amounts of student loan. I'm talking about when a young person's coming out, getting a job, $30,000, $40,000 a year, when they owe six figures in student loans. That's unprecedented. When I went to college, I came out, one of the things I was afraid of was some of the student loans. And so every summer, I remember working and saving every penny to pay back my loans. Every summer, I paid back my loans. Every summer, saved every penny that I had. But I want to thank you again for getting up this morning with us, Dave. Again, I'm going to give you the final word on this appeal. This socialist, and it's Bernie Sanders is the appeal. Can you believe that Bernie Sanders is actually a throwback from the 60s? This idea that he's out there promoting is an old idea. It's an idea that has destroyed countries. We can go back and we can just look all over the country, the world, and we can see that socialism has failed in every area. Look at Detroit. Detroit has been working a socialist model for over 50 years. Look at it. It's devastated the people in Detroit. Look at Flint. Flint has been working under that model. Look at the people are waiting on government right now when it was the Flint City Council that voted. And they blaming the governor. They don't take responsibility. They're blaming the governor for their own vote. They're the ones that voted to use that Flint water. Matter of fact, one of the things that Kwame wrote a letter. He said that Flint water looked the same way that it did before they voted for it. And I'm gonna give you the final word, Dave.
For all the people who need a dose of reality, go out and get a full commission job.
There you go. Thank you very much, my friend. All right.
Have the good day.
All right, you too, my friend. And I'm gonna go to our friend Bruce in Grosse Pointe. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Del. Fascinating topic. I'm on the computer here because the atmospherics aren't favorable enough to get you on the radio. But this what you were talking about, the breakup of the family, dependence on government, that sort of thing. Charles Murray wrote a book called Losing Ground in America all these years ago. Yeah. He pointed out this stuff, and even Daniel Patrick Moynihan warned against this. And this is at the onset of the so-called Great Society. You're absolutely right, Del. This has been going on for a long, long time. Don't forget that Coleman Young, who was the mayor of Detroit for 20 years, once boasted that he was the number one communist in the state of Michigan. Yeah,
absolutely he was. But hold that thought for a minute, Bruce. I want Derek, can you go to Soundbite 214 for me? Listen to this, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Soundbite 214.
And what democratic socialism is about is saying that it is immoral and wrong that the top 0.1% in this country own almost 90%, own almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. That it is wrong today in a rigged economy that 57% of all new income is going to the top 1%. That when you look around the world, you see every other major country providing health care to all people as a right, except the United States.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, one of the things he did point out, Bruce, I want you to focus in on that right there. The 1%, this upper 1%, all the economic wealth has been taken by. I was looking at, I forgot to bring the percentage, but it's people that work real hard. And I'm not going to take anything away from Donald Trump. Of course, he did borrow some money from his dad to start his own business. But from that point on, I mean, he's out there looking for opportunity all the time. And what's different from people that has acquired wealth than myself and other people is that that's a gift. That's something that, and I'm not envy of them. I admire them. Matter of fact, I look at programs of the rich and famous, and it encouraged me and encouraged myself to live out my dream, believing that one day I can. Why can't I do some of the things that they did? It's not something that we should that we should envy. But this is what he's creating. He's creating an atmosphere where people are envious of other people's success, that they work very hard. Just think about it. This guy, Zuckerberg, created this Facebook, and it has made him within 10 to 15 years, and has made him a gazillionaire.
Yeah.
He created an idea. I'm not jealous. I'm not upset about it.
I'm not either. You know,
Yes.
I was never brought up to be jealous or envious of anybody who's better off than I am. As long as they have come about what they have come by what they get honestly. You know, they get out there, they roll up their sleeves, they use their brains and as well as their brawn. You know, this 1% thing really gets me because, you know, so often, guys, we forget who pays the majority of the taxes in this country. The top 1% pays well over, I would say, well over half of the taxes in this country. And Bernie Sanders is so greedy that he wants more. This is a guy who has not had worked a single day in the private sector. He didn't receive a steady paycheck until he was about 40 years old. I mean, if you look at the guy's history, the guy was a bum.
Yes,
an absolute bum.
And he's out here selling young people this
Oh, my
false
Lord.
idea. I mean, we can go to Venezuela right now. Matter of fact, I was just here. I'm gonna read something from. This is. Do you know people in masses right now are leaving Cuba? In masses, Cuba immigration spikes as U.S. relationships. Relationships stall. So people in masses right now are leaving Cuba. They're leaving socialism. They're leaving all these socialist companies. The Cuban Adjustment Act. Since 1966, hundreds of thousands of Cubans have benefited from a law known as the Cuban Adjustment Act, which allows them to enter the country, live and work, and put them on a fast track to citizenship. So this is a law that was already on the books in 1966. So when the president normalized these relationships, he already knew that it was going to be a mass migration. Again, I believe that what he's doing is he's importing all these people that's living under these socialist economies. Bruce, thank you very much for coming up, for joining us this morning. Folks, if you'd like to join the conversation, give us a call at 877-822-1600. See you on the other side of the break.
Singing Sweet Home